out there, but they don't want you to know. Learn why on the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show as he explores civil rights laws, constitutional provisions, political news, and more. Finding solutions starts with knowing the truth, the real truth. Uncover the truth for yourself on the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show. That's the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show. Available on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you listen to podcasts. Open your ears, open your eyes. It's time to learn what's really happening on the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show.
That same basis to something like Loving versus Virginia, the Supreme Court case that legalized interracial marriage.
So when it comes to issues, you can't have it both ways. When you want that diversity to shine within our federal system, there are going to be rules and proceedings. They're going to be out of sync with maybe what other states would do. It's the beauty of the system, and that's where the differences among points of view in our 50 states ought to express themselves. And I'm not saying that rule would apply in general, depending on the topic, but it should mostly be in general, because it's hard to have it on issues that you just are interested in when you deny it for others with a different point of view.
So you would be okay with the Supreme Court leaving the question of interracial marriage to the states?
Yes, I think that that's something that if you're not wanting the Supreme Court to weigh in on issues like that, you're not going to be able to have your cake and eat it too. I think that's hypocritical.
White women love black men because of the power dynamic, because white women have never had any power over men in their lives. Because obviously all the white men in their lives have always had all the power over them. So white women have whiteness over black men. And obviously to be in any sort of like control feels good, especially when you're used to never being in control. White women feel safe with black men, not only because of the hyper-masculinity that they believe black men exhibit, but because of the whiteness and power they hold over black men. This is why also white women can still be racist and be with black men. And be like conservative white women will be like married to a black man. And this is why white women love their black sons and hate their black daughters. Black sons give you access to the patriarchy. They give you power, whereas black daughters don't.
Good afternoon, black men. Check in. I'm Booty Bree.
My dream is that one day some of these black men will wake up and realize that we're not wanted by them. That to them, we are an accessory and it's a fetish because they feel like they're like stepping out on their man, or they feel like they're crushing the supremacy with white men. They feel like by sleeping with us, they're making white men mad. And they've been doing this for years. They will sleep with a black man or befriend a black person in order to make their white friends jealous, or their white men feel envious and make him attack. And at some point, we have to understand that there are some genuine white women that are probably nice and just, make good partners. But the ones like this are never the ones to trust. It's never pure. There's always an alternative motive. And it's fucking weird that it's plain as day and some of us choose not to see it. I don't know why.
They attack black people after they've been murdered when they did absolutely nothing wrong. You're pushing us to the limit. And what do I mean by that? You're asking us to talk about history, the history of the South. This is in Georgia. What happened in Georgia? There were savages in Georgia. It was the ancestors of the white right-wingers. They were absolute savages. They murdered people, they lynched people, they raped people, they enslaved people. They took babies from their mothers and sold them as property. You want to talk about savages? Your ancestors were the biggest savages the world has ever seen. And so don't you dare call a black man a savage after you murdered him. Don't you dare do that. I'm so sick of African Americans being called violent when The world's worst violence was done to them, not by them, to them, not by them.
Being a white girl in an interracial relationship, there are a lot of extra responsibilities on me as far as understanding certain things, because that's not on him.
So do your family accept him?
Yes.
Okay, vice versa?
Let me be clear. He still has to experience racist situations within my family because I am white.
I got checked at 2 funerals in one day.
For real?
Just imagine having to go to 2 funerals in one day.
No, I was about to say that.
As the only damn near black guy in the motherfucker, both of them. And then both times it become a thing about you being the only black guy in the
crazy part about it is not even just like about you being black. And I had a suit on. And you got dreads.
Yes.
Oh, no,
he
I'm
is blackety black, black, black. And he presents as black, and I love that about him.
When we say white women be having children by black men and be racist, this is what we mean.
And wear a mask, sir. She said she got medical problem. You don't have to serve her if you don't want to. You can't even see how I'm looking at you, sir.
Didn't want to serve her because of the mask and also because of her attitude. And then she does what racist white women do.
Take her out. Ma'am, he's not going to serve us, so please leave. Why? Because he's a bitch-ass nigger? No,
Are we shocked?
That's what he is. That's what he is. Excuse me, ma'am.
Her Instagram. Apparently this is her baby daddy. Even if it's not, he's a goofball anyway, because my man's got on a Trump mask. Imagine what them kids going through. Imagine the identity crisis they gonna have. She not even ashamed. But when we say white women fetish black men, y'all tripping.
Let's talk about interracial couples real quick. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it because I made a video like this yesterday. The TikTok community got out of my video. I got too deep, you feel me? So I can't do that on this app. But moral of the whole story, black people, guys and goddesses, date your own species, you feel me? We do not need to be mixed with these other people walking around today. Date your own species. Our DNA, our bloodline is strong, you feel me? Keep your legacy going. But y'all watch this video.
So this is the one that I have. I met him in 2014, but he wasn't on the market yet. So in 2016, he was on the market. And I decided to see if it was a good investment for me. However, the timing wasn't really right. So it wasn't until the beginning of 2018 that I purchased this one.
And this is why I be against interracial marriages, interracial relationships. Because they don't give a fuck about you. They're literally using your genetics to keep their gene living. It's breeding. It's called breeding.
We're here with
Emily B.
Emily B. Where are you from, Emily?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. That's awesome. So for you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Okay. Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, make my legacy continue. Make my legacy continue.
According to the United States Census Bureau, by the year 2042, Caucasian people in America will be the minority. By 2042, you're dealing with people whose bodies cannot sustain life. Right now, more white women's wombs are not able to hold a baby up to 9.5 months, and they're having miscarriages. So they're having more deaths than births, according to the United States Census Bureau. When you're dealing with a group of people who look at their livelihood and it is dwindling, there are actions that need to be taken. So not only do we have the black women being encouraged to have hysterectomies, but we have the white women being encouraged to have more children. You have the abortion clinics in 78% of the inner city neighborhoods, while you have the majority of fertility clinics in the rich neighborhoods. You have body parts. Black women are being encouraged to get hysterectomies, but those hysterectomies are not being petitioned to be received by trans men. This gets very deep. Wow. Very deep. I know, curveball. I know. That took a turn. I know. Another thing, you have organs, kidneys, you have lungs, hearts, etc. that are on the underground white market because black people don't control it. White and Jewish people primarily do control it, so I can't call it the black market. It's the white market. Okay, number one. Number two, hearts are worth a little over 100,000. Kidneys are worth over 20, 50,000, depending on where it is. And those black body parts, hence why 75,000 plus black men are missing. A lot of these children, 2,500 every year, are missing. This sounds like Get Out. It is Get Out. That movie was based on true stories happening all over the place. In America, right now, it is a $30 billion sex trafficking commercialized industry, meaning the money made from sex trafficking of children and women is now contributing to America's economic base. It is not a secret anymore. And organ trafficking. Because people are dying. Which is why you shouldn't put organ donor on your driver's license. Because that makes you a target. This is a real world we're dealing with, y'all. Now, you brought me on Drink Champs, damn it. We dropping the real information. I know what's they found a bunker in Phoenix, Arizona a couple months ago with refrigerators full of hearts, kidneys, a few heads.
Let's talk about interracial couples real quick. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it because I made a video like this yesterday. A TikTok community got out of my video. I got too deep, you feel me? So I can't do that on this app. But moral of the whole story, black people, guys and goddesses, date your own species, you feel me? We do not need to be mixed with these other people walking around today. Date your own species. Our DNA, our bloodline is strong, you feel me? Keep your legacy going. But y'all watch this video.
So this is the one that I have. I met him in 2014, but he wasn't on the market yet. So in 2016, he was on the market. And I decided to see if it was a good investment for me. However, the timing wasn't really right. So it wasn't until the beginning of 2018 that I purchased this one.
And this is why I be against interracial marriages, interracial relationships. Because they don't give a fuck about you. They're literally using your genetics to keep their gene living. It's breeding. It's called breeding.
We're here with
Emily B.
Emily B. Where are you from, Emily?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. That's awesome. So for you, black guys or white guys?
Black guys.
Okay. Can you elaborate as to why specifically black guys?
Yes, black guys are melanated, and I want my children to survive. And I know that the only way for them to survive in the future is for them to have melanin in their skin. So that's the way for me to, make my legacy continue. Make my legacy continue.
According to the United States Census Bureau, by the year 2042, Caucasian people in America will be the minority. By 2042, you're dealing with people whose bodies cannot sustain life. Right now, more white women's wombs are not able to hold a baby up to 9.5 months, and they're having miscarriages. So they're having more deaths than births, according to the United States Census Bureau. When you're dealing with a group of people who look at their livelihood and it is dwindling, there are actions that need to be taken. So not only do we have the black women being encouraged to have hysterectomies, but we have the white women being encouraged to have more children. You have the abortion clinics in 78% of the inner city neighborhoods, while you have the majority of fertility clinics in the rich neighborhoods. You have body parts. Black women are being encouraged to get hysterectomies, but those hysterectomies are not being petitioned to be received by trans men. It's very deep. Wow. Very deep. I know, curveball. I know. That took a turn. I know. Another thing, you have organs, kidneys, you have lungs, hearts, etc. that are on the underground white market because black people don't control it. White and Jewish people primarily do control it, so I can't call it the black market. It's the white market. Okay, number one. Number two, hearts are worth a little over 100,000. Kidneys are worth over 20, 50,000, depending on where it is. And those black body parts, hence why 75,000 plus black men are missing. A lot of these children, 2,500 every year, are missing. This sounds like Get Out. It is Get Out. That movie was based on true stories happening all over the place. In America, right now, it is a $30 billion sex trafficking commercialized industry, meaning the money made from sex trafficking of children and women is now contributing to America's economic base. It is not a secret anymore. And organ trafficking. Because people are dying. Which is why you shouldn't put organ donor on your driver's license. Because that makes you a target. This is a real world we're dealing with, y'all. Now, you brought me on Drink Champs, damn it. We dropping the real information. I know what's they found a bunker in Phoenix, Arizona a couple months ago with refrigerators full of hearts, kidneys, a few heads.
How much faith do you personally have in interracial relationships?
What I can see from the data is 80+% of people date inside their group. Me personally, I've dated everything. I say make yourself the best version of yourself and pick from the best you have available. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, but most people want their group. What I think the disconnect comes when you feel like you're having to pick from lesser options, but that's a function of you. If you make yourself the top choice, or become the best version of you, and know not what you want, but know what you need, that's a difference.
The truth is out there, but they don't want you to know. Learn why on the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show as he explores civil rights laws, constitutional provisions, political news, and more. Finding solutions starts with knowing the truth, the real truth. Uncover the truth for yourself on the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show. That's the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show. Available on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you listen to podcasts. Open your ears, open your eyes. It's time to learn what's really happening on the Rico Dukes They Fear Truth show.
Hey, what's up, America? I'm your host, Rico Duke for They Feel Truth TV, your attorney and founder of They Feel Truth Federal Government of America. And we're going to, y'all already see what this episode about today, which is interracial marriage and relationship, the pros and cons. So y'all seen a few of them clips. My personal view on interracial relationships, I don't look at color. That's just me. I don't look at color. I look at, because if I looked at color, then I'm gonna use me for an example. It wasn't no white person or white woman that crossed me out. It was black women and my black people that crossed me out. So if I looked at color, you see what I'm saying? I would have to take that in a major consideration. And the second reason why I don't look at color is because I don't feel like God put all us here, all these different nationalities of colors of people, for us to hate one another or to dislike one another. It's okay to dislike, but us to hate one another to the fact that we want to harm a certain different race of people. I don't think that's why God put us here like that. That's just my personal view, my personal opinion. I've been doing good in life by living off of it. The third reason is because I never knew love had a color. I'm unaware of that maybe that I'm behind time or something, but I never knew that love had a color. I never knew that a white person or a white girl will love you more than a black girl. I never knew that a black girl will love you more than a white girl, or a Mexican girl will love you more than a black girl, or whatever. I never knew that though. And I still don't know that to this day. I believe that whoever loves you genuinely, not who just want to be there with you, whether she black, white, Mexican, Chinese, Asian, Hispanic, whatever the Korean, whatever she is, I believe, or whatever he is if you are a female, whatever your companion race is, which is only one race of people, and that's the human race. So I'm gonna correct that. I ain't gonna use that no more because I gotta educate y'all. There's only one race of people, and that's the human race. So whatever skin color your companion is, as long as they love you genuinely from their heart and they got your best interest at heart and they genuinely want you to do better, they give you extra. That's what I see. That's my opinion. Why so many people feel, people as our color, black people, why so many people feel that so strongly against interracial? I feel like that, how can we say we are better than a race if we are just like that race? So if we call in other races interracial and they hate us, but we doing the same thing to them, that's just like 100 years ago, they great grandfathers or whatever the case may be might have beat some of our great grandparents or great ancestors or whatever the case may be. So 100 years later, they didn't have grandkids, granddaughters, and things of that nature. There, we supposed to hold they kids and grandkids accountable? Is that what we really supposed to do? Hold those that have not done us any form of harm, or that's the ones that we supposed to hold accountable for what their ancestors did to us? I believe that if you never break the cycle of hate, then the cycle of hate would never be broken. So if you never break the cycle of this psychological society brainwashing that they have did to everybody for us with interracial relationships, if you don't break that mental cycle then the hate will only be instilled in you, and then it'll be instilled in your children, and then it'll be instilled in their children. So what have you did? You did the same thing that the race that you so hate so much. You did the same thing. You birth and train a nation of hate. If we say we trying to do away with hate, we trying to get rid of hate, we trying to get rid of racism, we can't hate and become racism too. And become racist too. How we gonna get rid of it? How are we gonna get rid of racial hate if we hate just as well as they hate? How can you hate somebody that never did you nothing? Never did you yourself physical no harm. No one in your family no harm. As I say, like their grandparents or their great-great-grandparents might have did some things, but how can you hold 4 generations down the line accountable for what their grandparents did? You have to hold them accountable for their actions. And this is the problem on the black side, and it's the problem on the white side. We, the people, keep racial hate going on. We, the people, keep confusion going on. We, the people, say that we tired of racism, but yet we indulge so strongly in racism. I seen a post that was put up on Facebook for one of these gun formations, and it had a picture of a black dad and a black boy dragging his son away from a white girl, saying, "Not my son." You have no control over who you love, and I want anybody to try to tell me differently that you can control who you love. It's impossible to control who you love. I'm gonna say that again. It's impossible to control who you love. Love is supposed to bring you joy, peace, comfort, understanding. Why is it that you limit love to a certain color? That's not love. That's racism love. No matter what color it comes from. I can understand what people be saying about interracial marriages. Like I say, people have their different stilo. So I'm not the one that's in that stilo. I didn't talk to a white girl before. Don't have any kids. All my kids are about black. But yes, I have had sex with a few white women in my time. Yes, I have. I have had sex with a couple of Mexican women in my time. But the most hurt, and it's a lot of people probably ain't gonna understand what I'm gonna say, but a lot of people don't understand yourself. But the most hurt and betrayal, and I'm gonna speak just for us about women in my race. The most hurt and betrayal that came in my life came from black women, my black partners, my supposed to been black family. So if we gonna play the race game, we gotta play the race game all the way right, because 90% of us black men and women, all the hate and the scandalizing your name and hurting you, and this come from us, our own people. But once again, this is the hate that the slave masters instilled and helped, well, not instilled, they helped instill this here within us when our ancestors was on the slave plantation. We still ain't broke that today. And what some of these videos were saying, when they were saying like melanated people, we are the melanated people, mean that we give life to all other life of humans. So how could you possibly believe, if we give life to all other races of humans. How can you hate yourself? I'm going to say that again. If we give life to all other races of human beings on the face of this planet, we are the seed of the creation of the foundation of all nationality of human being life. If it comes from all genes and DNA, how do we hate what we made? I would like for anybody to answer that. How is it that if our DNA, our genes, create albinos, create white people, create Asian people, create Latinos, create Mexicans, create Creoles, create all these other different nationalities of people, how can we hate our own self? A lot of people never probably even thought about it like that. A lot of people never even thought about it. So when we hate, now you understand why I say in order to do away with hate, we got to first learn to love what we created. We created every other race of nationality of people. For what I didn't understood from the scientific and the geology of things, we have created every other race of people. It comes from our DNA. Damn, we hate ourselves that much. The old president taught us how to hate ourselves to where every time we put a new life out in this world, we already done instilled hate in it. But we say we tired of racism. We tired of racial profiling. Racial profiling just don't go for white and black. It goes for black and white. And I'm gonna say that again in case you didn't understand what I meant when I said that. Racism just don't go for white and black. It go for black and white. Meaning you got black people that's racist. You got white people that's racist. So if we got black people that's racist, how can we be tired of it? I can see if the white people that's here, they granddaughters, they children, this, that, and the other, whatever the case may be, I can understand that they ain't, if they did us something, themselves did this generation something, I could understand. I can't understand how you hold a whole race accountable for something that they did not do, whether they black, white, Mexican, Japanese, Chinese, Asian, Caucasian, whatever they is. How can you hold an entire race of people accountable for something that they did not do, that they weren't even on the face of this earth? The same question we have for them right to this day. How can, for the ones that are racist towards us, how can you hold us accountable for things that was way 200 years ago? Those are the ignorant people, whether they're white, black, green, blue, purple, yellow, brown, red, whatever color they is. If you think like that, you're ignorant. If you think like that, you would never be able to grow. I'm not saying that you're supposed to go around here and just have put babies all in white people, but I'm not saying that there's something wrong with it either. I'm not, like I say, whatever makes a person happy, meaning if it's genuinely happy and you feel and you know that is from God, that happiness and joy is from God, you know what I'm saying? I would roll with it. No matter what color she was. We got to break our psychological thinking that they have instilled in us. They have propaganda to us for so many years to where now we propaganda to ourselves. We propaganda to ourselves and have no clue that it's the propaganda that they instilled in us. I see a lot of these revolution organizations be hollering black power, but they have no idea what black power is. That's a form of racial, ain't it? They saying black power, but they think black power is a bunch of black people getting together. No, black power means you are independent, you are economic, political, financially have your own. That's the definition of black power. I just gave you a few of them, but there's a few more that go with it. Look it up. Black power don't mean black people getting together and holding their fists up in there and saying black power and this, but they don't have nothing to give the black people in their community. That's not black power. If we are the creators of all race of people, why do we hate the other races so bad then? It seemed like to me we had a dominant power and a dominant genetic gene line. So why do we hate them if we hold all the power? Something to think about, huh? And I know we hold all the power, but this question is to the people. How do you hate them if you know that you possess all the power? Help me understand that. This wasn't going to be a long episode. I just wanted to touch in with y'all today and give y'all a little insight on this right here. And we as a people, as a whole, we got to do better. And as I stated, all my kids are by black women. So my whole bloodline from my children to my grandchildren is me of what it is. Now, if I got any mixture in me, that's something else. I ain't never known that I had nothing extra mixed in me, but like I said, I just found out UP Newton was my pop. You know what I'm saying? So I could have some other different type of genes in me, or I don't know. But as all my life I've been knowing, I'm a black, and that's what I stand for. We got to educate ourselves and discipline ourselves in order to overcome the oppression that we have been inflicted and dealt with. I'm your host, Rico Dukes, for They Feel Truth TV. And as always, man, I'm going to always educate y'all. Be sure to check out my clothing line, RCDHPN. Be sure to get you some 21st century Black Panthers RCDHPN gear. Be sure to check out our website for our bank, They Feel Truth Federal Reserve Bank, TFTFRB.org. TFTFRB.org. Check out our federal government. Go to which is YELP.com, and type of They Feel Truth Federal Government to see the services that we offer to the people. Once again, as always, till next time, it's been an honor and a pleasure to give y'all knowledge and to give y'all my insight, my pros, cons, and opinions on things that we need to change for ourselves as a people as a whole. We can never be as strong as we should be if we carry around the hate that we never were supposed to have. Peace.